Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube, Diggy546? I am completely disgusted by what I just saw. First off, this was an ugly game. It was an ugly game. Just plain and simple, it was an ugly game. Plain and simple. It was probably the ugliest game I've ever seen in my life as a football fan by both teams. Probably the ugliest game I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the Giants won this game. Time of possession wise, 38 minutes to 25 minutes. 38 minutes to 25 minutes. They had 203 rushing yards and -9 passing yards. The Giants threw the ball today. 14 times today. And they completed 6 passes. So a little bit under 50% throwing the ball and completed 6 passes. And again, had -7 passing yards. -7. Like, -7 passing yards today. And you know why? Because they refused to throw the ball in the second half. And it worked out for them. It worked out. Saquon Barkley had just enough good runs today to where it just worked out. It worked out. But first off, I'm going to give a shout out to the defense. Shout out to the defense. I don't care that they gave up 13. I don't care what happened at the end of the game. The defense showed up today for the third week in a row. And Kayvon Thibodeau, who the guys over at WFAN, BT and Sal, they don't like his body. They don't like his quick twitch. They say, what does he do? Let me pull up Kayvon Thibodeau's stats today. Let me pull up, because Kayvon Thibodeau won us this. I don't care what the score says. Kayvon Thibodeau won us the game today. And I'm going to read you his stats. 9 tackles from Kayvon Thibodeau. 6 solo tackles from Kayvon Thibodeau. 3 tackles for loss. 3 sacks and a forced fumble. Kayvon Thibodeau took this game over, and especially at the end of the game. 2 sacks on the final drive. Kayvon Thibodeau took the game over, and he was the only reason we scored the 3 points at the beginning of the game, because he forced a fumble. So I don't want to hear any more about Kayvon Thibodeau being a bust. I don't want to hear it, because Kayvon Thibodeau showed up, completely showed up. Dex showed up. Leo showed. They were in the backfield all day today, and this defense held the Jets' offense on first downs, on third downs. I don't have the stat in front of me, but it was something ridiculous, like maybe 3 for like 17 or something crazy like that. I don't have it in front of me, but it was something ridiculous. This Jets offense did nothing. They did nada against us. They had Zach Wilson out there, who is not Aaron Rodgers, but was pretty much their starting quarterback coming into this game. They had their guys out there. Yes, they ended up being on their third string center, which cost them a possession, but they had the guy Garrett Wilson out there that ultimately won them the game. They had their guys out there. They had their defenders out there. We lost Tyrod Taylor in the second quarter, and we should have won this game still. Not even throwing the ball in the second half. Tommy DeVito, I don't have a grade or anything for Tommy DeVito, because he didn't do anything. He didn't get to do anything. He didn't do anything. And I don't know why you have a guy on your team that's basically your third string quarterback that you don't think you can run one passing play where you actually throw the ball down the field. It doesn't have to be 40 yards down. It doesn't even have to be 10 yards down the field. But you don't have one passing play where you can throw the ball down the field with Tommy DeVito. If he can't do that for you, if he can't do one passing play for you, he doesn't need to be your third string quarterback. He doesn't need to be your practice squad quarterback. He just shouldn't be there. If he can't do that, because pretty much what Tommy DeVito did is what I could have done. It's what you could have done. It's what you could have done. It's what it's what all of these people could have done. He handed the ball off. He ran a couple of bootlegs and threw incomplete passes twice. And then he threw it short to Saquon. He threw it short to Saquon behind the line of scrimmage on a designed short pass. So if you don't trust him to throw the ball 2 yards down, 3 yards, 4, 5 yards down the field, if you don't trust him to do that, then you shouldn't have him on your practice squad. He should not be your third quarterback. He's not good enough. Just that simple. Now, my biggest issue with Brian Daboll today is this Giants offensive line and Saquon Barkley fought their hearts out. They fought their hearts out with no quarterback in the game. Whether DeVito would have done something or not done something, it was no quarterback in the game because you didn't throw it. No quarterback in the game. This offensive line and Saquon Barkley fought their hearts out, gutted it out, along with Kayvon Thibodeau on that defense on the other side. And you know what you decide to do on 4th and 1 with 28 seconds left in the game? You give the ball back to Graham Gano, who it was reported before this game that Graham Gano has a knee that needs surgery. And he's missing field goals left and right every week. And the problem is he needs surgery. A kicker with a leg injury needs surgery. I mean, why are we kicking it with the guy that needs surgery? As a kicker, you use your legs. You use your legs. Don't you use your legs as a kicker? So why is he out there kicking for us if it's something wrong with his legs? I mean, I don't know. Listen, I've never coached in the NFL. But I just feel like a kicker with leg issues should not be in the situation to try to win the game for us when we're up with 28 seconds left. I don't care if it's from the 25-yard line. I would have sent Jamie Gillen and his strong leg out there, the guy that's not injured, out there, and I would have told him to punt this ball as far as he possibly can into the air. As far as you can. You're already at the 25. You're not going to have bad field position. Punt it as far as you possibly can up in the air. So instead of kicking a quick field goal, you run 8 seconds. A lot of time off of the clock. Because guess what? The Jets clocked the ball with 1 second on the clock. The Jets clocked the ball with 1 second left on the clock. So if you go out there and you punt the ball high up in the air as you possibly can, run as much time off the clock as you possibly can, or even if you just pooch kick it, if you just punt it where it just bounces all around for a couple of seconds and they have to return it and they have to take time off the clock. Whatever you do not do what you did. Why are you putting the game in his hands? And then of course the defense, I don't care what they did at the end of the game. Listen, Garrett Wilson got the better of Deonte Banks. Garrett Wilson is, I don't know if he's an all-pro. I don't know if he made it, but he's a dominant wide receiver. He beat Deonte Banks in the clutch on one-on-one at the end of the game. It just is what it is. It just is what it is right there. So he did that. They got in the field goal range. They clock it with 1 second left, which to be honest with you folks, if you go back and look at that game, they did not clock it in time for 1 second, but it is what it is right there. But they go ahead and kick that field goal, and you come right back out of you come out of overtime, Daboll. You come out of overtime throwing it behind the line of scrimmage, like they don't expect that to happen. You come out throwing it behind the line of scrimmage. I don't understand what Daboll was thinking about. I don't understand why he decided not to just punt the ball or do something that was going to waste time off of the clock and did what he did. I don't get that. But you might as well, Brian Daboll, you might as well have just said, here's the ball. You might as well just told Tommy DeVito to snap the ball and sit it right down on the ground and just let them kick the game-winning field goal, because you were not trying to go out there and win that game. It's overtime. You got to go out there and win the game. If Tommy DeVito throws an interception that loses us the game in overtime, who cares? It's Tommy DeVito. Who cares? But you decided you're going to go out there and throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage. And what makes me mad, we're 2-5. We're 2-5. Now we're 2-6. So this was our last chance, and this is probably your real last chance at making a late run. But what really makes me mad is, like I said, how hard the guy Kayvon Thibodeau right here fought, and how hard that offensive line and the running back fought to win this game. And because of bad game management and bad coaching down the stretch, we end up losing the game. I mean, how do you get outcoached by a guy who couldn't stop the Giants offense the entire second half? Not to say we put up a bunch of points, but all we did was run the ball, and the Jets couldn't come back and win the game until we started beating ourselves. So hopefully Tyrod Taylor is okay, but I don't think he is okay. I mean, he's got rib issues. He's a smaller quarterback. That's a problem when you got a guy like that as a backup, is that all it takes is 1 or 2 hits and he's going to be out of the game. I think he had like a concussion last year or something. I can't remember, but he's probably not going to be ready. Daniel Jones, they're saying he may be ready. He may not be ready, but they're optimistic. So we absolutely need Daniel Jones to come back. And if not, we're going to have to go out there and get Carson Wentz. We're going to have to get Carson Wentz, because if you don't think that you can throw the ball with Tommy DeVito, then he shouldn't be playing on the field. And finally, Adoree Jackson. Who is 86? Who is he? I looked him up, and I remembered who he was after he made the play. But who is 86? Why is Taylor beating you down the field in the clutch? Why get Adoree, send Adoree to Buffalo, send Adoree somewhere for a 7th round pick, because I can watch Trey Hawkins get beat down the sideline in the clutch like that. I can watch anybody do that, but I do not want to see Adoree Jackson 40 yards downfield running into the receiver, running into Malik Taylor, who didn't have a catch all day. You got Malik Taylor celebrating who didn't have a catch all day. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. So please trade Adoree away. It's probably going to be a fire sale. Adoree, Leonard Williams, those guys are going to be on the trade block. But I don't want to see you getting beat down the field like that, Adoree in the clutch by Malik Taylor. Come on now. So I'm going to wrap it up right here. I am not happy, obviously, because this was a winnable game. And this was a game that I just wanted to just flex on, because I was like, the Giants beat you with Tommy DeVito and not throwing the ball the entire second half. And Kayvon Thibodeau, the title of this game was going to be Kayvon Thibodeau won us a game. But obviously Brian Daboll had other plans. So you guys let me know what you're thinking of this game. And some people probably going to say, they were at the 25. You have to kick the field goal. I don't care if he was at the 1 yard line. You got to run as much time off the clock as possible. It just is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys let me know what you're thinking of this game.